Chapter 10. The Measure, Monitor, and Improve Process to Greater Quality. We have now laid a solid foundation on how to get about obtaining information vital for market research. Now it's time to start monitoring internally your business efforts. After all, what good is all of this if we can't measure, monitor, and improve the success of our company efforts? We'll examine 3 primary areas that can positively impact your company's success and address how to capture the data through a research effort. These 3 areas are great indicators as to your overall success at being quality preferred contractor. Research sales goals. Setting goals for your company is key for your growth. You need to have a number in your head of the amount of work that can realistically be completed or the amount of revenue you want to achieve every year. However, 1 year of benchmarking is limiting your own company. Why not set a 1, 3, and 5-year goal? Setting such long-term sales goals can help you monitor where you are in contrast with where you want to be at some future date. Monitoring your company's sales goals allows you to study your data, measuring the success of your company over time. This process should be set up to measure goals monthly, quarterly, and of course, annually. If you notice a trend of missing sales targets for several months consecutively or quarterly, there may be some cyclical market force out of your direct control that is impacting you. It might also represent a lack of sales calls or fewer generated bids that was needed or projected as a goal. Recognizing a negative trend, sooner rather than later, strengthens your firm's efforts to make a short-term correction, rather than a profit-losing one later. A brief side note to setting, measuring, and monitoring your sales goals includes representing your sales goals in more than one manner. The following goals might be considered part of a more rounded picture of sales that can tell a few interesting pictures about your company's success. Sales revenue goal, i.e., projected dollar amount per month, quarter, and/or year. Projected gross margin total, i.e. 2%, 4.5%, 7%, etc. Projected fee goal, i.e. 5%, 8%, 11%, etc. Number of bids created per month compared against goal. Number of bids projects won compared against goal. Size of bids projects won compared against goal. Total hours spent per one bid or project. Such goals are needed and should be set prior to the new year, the upcoming season, or the next quarter. These are known as predictive goals or targets. That is, they predict what we are shooting to achieve. Remember again, your objective for establishing sales-oriented goals is to measure and monitor results, thus providing the opportunity to improve on those processes that impact greater sales. Improving work quality. All contractors should be focused on providing the best quality possible, right? Every contractor says that they do quality work, but how many contractors actually measure and monitor quality so that they can improve their quality? Our findings are not many. Quality speaks volumes about how effective and efficient your workers perform work and how proficient workers are at maintaining equipment and critical work tools, or how precise they are at using the actual estimated amount of materials and supplies. Several areas should be measured so you can develop a crystal clear picture of how your company is doing in terms of improving the factors that result in greater quality research results that you can believe in and market to existing and future customers. As we addressed in Chapter 7, a simple survey question asking your customers how they perceive the quality of the work performed by your company is one avenue that you can pursue. We think and propose to you that you can do more than just ask your customers about the quality of the project. Remember, they may reflect on how the project looks at the end, and this certainly is important, but they do not normally know about, understand, or even care about the steps people and equipment use to produce the great result. Consider a few examples that might assist you in setting some quality measurements that you can measure, monitor, and improve. Remember, the theory of quality is that it is never ending or continuous. If this is true for your company, you will need to create and consistently enforce the measure, monitor, and improve process to greater quality. Examples: volume of work that was rework, number of callbacks per project or customer, over/under of the age of material used per estimate, labor hours billed to project versus estimate, hours and days past estimated completion time or date, equipment downtime hours experienced per project or per week, replacement costs of tools per project or by week, time spent, labor hours, waiting for material supply deliveries. We can't emphasize enough the need to really be able to measure and monitor your workers' performance. This combined effort will empower your improvement efforts to better demonstrate to your customers what truly separates you from your competition. Remember, many customers will confess that they hear from just about every contractor as to how good the contractor's quality is. You be the contractor who can back it up. Customer satisfaction. As we discussed in Chapters 6 and 7, customer surveys can go a long way towards helping you understand what your clients want and identifying areas that you can improve upon. Once you have the basics down, you can begin to monitor any trends in your workforce that may need to be addressed. What you may find beneficial, in addition to sending your customer surveys, is developing a system that helps you measure and monitor your own progress on areas that are of concern. For instance, if you have noticed some questionable or negative behavior issues on site with some of your crew members, improper work clothes and/or cynical or obnoxious attitude, for example, set up a survey question designed to monitor this area. One important note to touch on here in regard to gaining insight on customer satisfaction. How can you motivate your customers to give you feedback? Inspiring any customer to respond to your request for feedback on work performed, worker satisfaction, and if possible, the customer's willingness to work again with your company is a challenge. Some customers just refuse being subjected to giving out any more info than necessary. Admittedly, many customers are simply not motivated to do so. So, how can we apply some of the market research insights shared in the previous chapter to assist you in this very important area? Well, let's look at a few tips that may assist your efforts. Tip number 1. Engage your field leaders to solicit feedback. Contractors know, without question, that the success or failure of any project is due in large part to their superintendents, project managers, and crew leaders. In fact, many customers will often demand that involvement of these project leaders, especially superintendents and project managers, if they are to do future projects with the contractor. So, why not train your field leaders on how to administer a customer survey? The customer might be more willing to complete the survey if their most trusted representative from your company is doing the asking. Tip number 2, do more verbal survey work. Especially if you do involve your field leaders in gathering customer feedback, educate your field leaders about how to strategically pose the questions that might be formally part of any paper or web-based survey. This is actually easier than it may sound, and the customer may not even be aware of being surveyed. The key for this type of work is providing an easy method for your field leaders and to put that data into your company's information gathering system, perhaps through their mobile device in the field or a quick email to the main office. Tip number 3, conduct a personal session with customer. If you covet the opinions of your customer, then the owner or most senior ranking leaders should plan to schedule a personal visit, perhaps over lunch or dinner, to request the feedback. This actually happens with many larger specialty subcontractors and the larger general contractors. While conducting this personal interview of sorts, the contractor might then ask for permission to engage other employees from the customer's organization that could complete an online or paper survey. Tip number 4, push web-based customer survey completion. While the use of paper customer survey form is not totally obsolete, we are increasingly approaching a paperless world in this area. As customers are becoming more comfortable with web-based and even mobile apps, any contractor would be very wise to push on their efforts to move to a mostly paperless customer survey approach. Tip number 5, don't give up or give in too early. Be patient. It is amazing that even if a contractor has received overly positive comments throughout the project's life, getting a customer to complete a customer satisfaction survey at the end of the project can still be challenging. Without becoming a nuisance, keep gently asking the customer for their feedback, sharing with them how critical their opinion is and how their input can assist your company's internal and external improvement efforts. Be patient and don't let an early dismissal from a customer squelch your enthusiasm to gain their insights and suggestions for improvement. Tip number 6, always recognize appreciation and share a gift. For those customers who do assist your request, be quick to say thank you and follow up with sending them a gift to demonstrate your sincere appreciation. Often, this may be something simple like a voucher for a nice dinner at a restaurant or perhaps tickets to the local professional or college ball game. Certainly, the amount of thanks might be a bit relative to the amount of the project. It's not so much the amount as much as the thought that counts in this situation. Chapter 10. So what? Don't back off from conducting the research highlighted in this chapter on your company. You will most certainly be interested in the trends that you see in your workers along the way. Having such information sooner rather than later can move your company's efforts further along to truly being one of the best and preferred contractors in your market area.